Okay, well, we might as well start, and then that's a little stopwatch for us.
Oh, can we do some nice claps?
Yeah, some beautiful
go ahead,
claps.
Alvin. Yes. All right, everybody, welcome to another Unsigned Berlin podcast. This is number 5, and tonight we're here with Albin from Germany, who is coming out with his new album.
Yes.
Really, his first and
My first full album.
yeah, super cool.
Metanoia.
Metanoia. Yes.
Yeah.
So, just to get started, what was your inspiration for the name? And because I did a little research about what it means,
Yeah.
and I was wondering what your definition of the meaning is.
Like my definition is very close to the Wikipedia definition of it.
Yeah.
Because I think the way I found it was somewhere, I was in the depths of the internet, probably 2 a.m. And just found like interesting words with explanations to it. And then I found the word metanoia and I was like, that's kind of interesting. Because I was going through at that time in general.
Mm-hmm. And what does it mean?
And like the Wikipedia explanation would be a strong change of heart and like a view on the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the album is about. Like also most of the songs are about.
Right.
Like written within a week mostly. Like
Really?
that's
Oh,
the
wow.
crazy part. Or like
all of
nine
the
days, I
songs?
think. Yeah, except for Beauty, which I wrote like a year before that.
Right.
So that's the oldest song off of the album, in a way, then, if you wrote it a year ago.
Yeah. And the others are all like written in May.
Wow.
Right.
Some week in May.
Did you write like the instrumental parts as well all at the same time? Or was it like, we're going to write them and then figure out the instrumentals and the vocals and stuff separately?
Different from song to song.
Mm-hmm.
But like mostly I started with instrumentals, then vocal lines, some songs with the lyrics, but mostly some I come to it from the music side.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of also a transitional month, spring to
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
And I don't know,
suppose.
do you think that had any effect on your writing process or the tone of the album at all?
I think it was situated in the middle of the summer and kind of I think the second semester I just stopped, like the first year of university.
Yeah.
Was kind of ending, and I was in this gap because I didn't find like studio internships or something. Which I was planning to do that, but so then I think I started working around that time more, and then I was like, oh, now I really have like time to work on music, which I didn't really have during the first year of university, and I don't know, it was like a very weird week because for me, I mean, I guess in some way creativity always comes in surges.
Yeah.
But for me, it was 9 days and 8 songs. And
Wow.
the intro actually only happened like a week before I uploaded it because I was like,
Okay. It sounds very different as well.
yeah,
It sounds
It's,
much more like cinematic than
yeah. I mean,
the rest.
also like some, I don't know what you call that.
Well, that's also one of your
scores.
channels, kind of music, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's also in some parts, in some of the songs, like I think Lighthouse has a very cinematic chorus, for example, because it has a lot of synth and like orchestra stuff. But yeah, the intro is the most weird one as well. Like I just
Yeah. I liked it though. It's cool.
yeah. I mean, it's just like a choir thingy. And I think
Yeah.
by the time that this is released, we'll have the album released before that already, right? So people might
Yeah.
already.
So this
have
comes out on
yeah.
the 1st. So I think then it comes out the night of the 1st, no?
Oh, this.
Or-
Oh, yeah. Then
Yeah.
the next day. So tomorrow you can.
Yeah, in 6 hours, if everything goes well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, everything goes to plan.
Yeah, hopefully. What were the changes you feel like you were going through in terms of outlook or whatever the main focus of the album is?
I mean, yeah. You said earlier that I'm Alban or Albus from Germany, which is I'm like from the southwest. So I moved to Berlin to study there, to study music production, and then obviously moving to a new city, meeting new people was very good because I kind of had the chance to redefine myself again.
Yeah.
Because being kind of living in the same town for I think it was 18 years then. Yeah. You know everyone around you, and that's the good part. But also, you kind of get fixed in the person that you are.
Definitely,
Yeah.
And now meeting new people, you don't have that preconception. Is that a word? I don't know. Like the way people view you, that can still change. And I guess that can always change in general. Like you can still become a different person even if people know you. But that was a big one that I could allow myself to do that. And then I realized that it's happening. That I'm like, I don't know, that I'm allowing myself to feel more. And then in that summer, I think it was, don't want to get too close to the mic.
Okay.
In that summer it was also sometimes like mentally hard times. I think especially because BIM dropped away, like the university.
Right.
So I had way more free time, and some people, like some friends, were going on vacations.
Yeah,
So I
especially
had a lot more
towards
time,
towards the beginning of that holiday when everyone goes
Yeah.
either home or
It's kind of
wherever it
lonely,
is.
actually.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
that
I guess
summer, everybody's gone. If you're the one who stays,
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Did you move here and start doing uni expecting to release an album where you're the vocalist and everything beforehand, or was it kind of something you ended up doing?
I think it was a dream for some time, but I didn't really. I still don't consider myself a vocalist somehow.
Really?
Even
Because
though I'm trying to, but
this
sounds-
whole album
I'm just some
sounds
person
really
that
good.
sings. Oh,
The vocals
that's nice to hear.
sound
Yeah.
really lovely.
But yeah, like that was not like vocals were not my main thing I had planned. I was more into film music as well. I was like, and I'm still very interested in that. But like right now, like songs are the most fun thing, and also they're the best way to convey emotion for me right now.
Right.
So
They're also the
that-
easiest to have very few barriers to get done. Whereas I feel like if you're trying to do film scoring, it's more complicated to try to find something to do for that.
like you need to find people to work with, and then
Yeah.
then there's the entire film side of it. Like, and with this, it was mostly just me sitting down writing some songs, maybe sending them to friends, being like, "Do you like this or not?"
Yeah.
And then maybe tweaking them a bit, doing demos, and then I just started recording.
Yeah. Are you playing all the instruments and everything as well, or
No, not all of them. Like I think half of the tracks have bass tracks by Felix Jeschek, who's a friend from my hometown actually, and he was the bassist in the band I had before. Like we also released some songs on Spotify. Like that was what basically happened right before I moved to Berlin. And then his brother, who was the drummer, and like they're both amazing musicians, and he did all the drum tracks. Like in my hometown, like the drummer still lives there. Felix now also moved to Berlin, so that was a bit more easy communication wise. But like I think just sometime when I was home for like 2 weeks, we were like in the attic of my friend, like my drummer friend Claudius, and just like setting up mics there and trying not to make the room sound shit. And then, but then the issue was that I had to leave, and it was like 8 songs, and some of them were not fully finished yet, but like in the demo phase. So then I basically had all the mics set up, and I was just telling him not to move anything, and then like he recorded over the rest of the next months, and it went pretty well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great.
How did you know when to seek that kind of help from friends? And how did you know, especially when you come across obstacles in the making of an album, right? Maybe there are some things you're like, I want to do this myself and figure this out myself. When did you know if you needed help?
I mean, I think I did that in some aspects a bit too much, especially in like mixing or something. Like for the end product, it would probably have been better if I just like sent it to someone else who's like, there's a lot of people better at mixing than me. But there's always someone better at like producing or mixing or songwriting than you. And I kind of wanted to have the whole experience of, you know, writing it and recording it, as in, well, not playing everything, but, you know, putting the mics there, making everything work, planning the sessions, and then editing, mixing, and then mastering. It's not really mastering, but, you know, bringing it to loudness.
Okay. Did you do that? Did you do the mastering yourself? You didn't send it off to someone?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
That's really impressive.
it's not like I can do mastering. I just kind of did it, and but that's kind of how most of it worked, and I learned a lot from it. That was kind of the main thing.
Yeah.
Like I tried to have fun and kind of embrace it as like being kind of outcome independent, which was hard at times because I think to some degree every musician's perfectionist.
Yeah.
But then I had to really be like, okay, but like this is the song now, and even though I now know I wouldn't have recorded this snare like this, or I shouldn't have, this is the recording now. That's fine, But like where I did rely on help was like I can't drum, for example. So I just got Claudius to drum in, and I mean I do play bass, but Felix is better than me and has a different look on it. sometimes I struggle to like, make interesting bass lines that are not just root notes.
Yeah.
It's definitely more of a strength to know when your abilities are limited, I feel like.
Yeah.
Be humble out, just to kind of like humble up and be like, okay, I need to, delegate this to someone else. So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. I'm still learning that. Like,
I
think I should have done that more.
Yeah.
But from now on, I'll really try. Like,
yeah.
It was fun mixing it on my own. It was also sometimes not fun.
Horrible. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
just there, like trying to fix a track and.
It just seems like the first release is the most daunting thing. Like it's like your mark, your first kind of mark on the world, like a little bit, or
in some ways
commentary. I don't know. It seems especially scary to me. But the fact that you had you had a part in it at every stage is really, really rad. Really cool.
I had 2 single releases before that. But this is the first actual full album release. So that's definitely a very big difference. Like with the singles, it was also like I just had to at some point, print the mix and be okay. This is it. And that was like on this one. I also struggled with that a lot because you can always go in and fix more stuff and destroy more stuff. So like next time I would probably work on it a bit faster as well. Like my main objective was kind of keeping the spark, not pulling out the life by like overproducing it. But I think I managed to do that.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about doing it, or like doing every part of it, not entirely by yourself, but pretty much, is you get to figure out which parts of it you want to do again for the next thing by yourself because you enjoy doing it, and which parts you're like, we need to outsource this as quick as possible because I hate doing this.
Exactly, yeah.
Or just it's not like the primary skill set, like mixing, even if you just like doesn't make the most sense.
Even if you're an amazing mixer, sometimes it may not be smart if you wrote it and recorded it and like you sang on it, then maybe you just heard this song 100 times and you hate it by now, then you should mix it. But for me it was definitely like mostly a fun experience.
As a songwriter, how do you treat each one of your songs? Do you feel like some of your songs are more precious than others? Do you have things that you're like, oh, whatever, this is just kind of, or do you all kind of love them equally? I was wondering about that.
I think I'm a bad parent to my songs. I don't love them equally. But yeah, like there are some that like I listen back to and I'm like, oh, this is pretty awesome, or I like this idea, and like maybe 3 or 4 songs that are like my favorites in that. But I think it's mostly like the ones that I like most are not usually the ones that are like produced in the best way or something, or have me singing the best on it, but just have the soul captured in it, like very close to the main idea that I had as the vision. Like from playing the first chord, you kind of build this perfect construct of what the song is going to be, and then like the entire rest of the process is just trying to get close to that. And
that's the hardest part.
But
that's also kind of the advantage of, because you didn't make demos before you did this, or did you? Because that process is always kind of weird, where you make a demo and then the soul is definitely captured in the demo, and then sometimes it doesn't quite make it into the studio version. And but most of them were not demos, or I basically did writing in Logic, like in the DAW that I use. So there you go. It's kind of like I had my demos, because a lot of it was also like I didn't have like a drum kit to record instantly, so I just kind of used MIDI drums, and I wanted to get the feeling of when the bass comes in. So I basically just did that, tried it, and was like, okay, maybe shorten this a bit, and then I basically had the song. Wow. And then the issue was not making the demo sound too awesome, because otherwise you finish the recording and then you're like, I don't know. Like sometimes I had that I like recorded final vocals and I was like in the actual studio in a vocal booth, could go really loud with a nice mic. But then I sang differently because I was like, oh, now I can sing loudly. When I'm in my room, I don't want to, like piss off my neighbors. I would just like sing quietly into my mic. But for some songs, that kind of was what I needed. Right. So that's also something I learned now in like recording that, loud and fancy is not always the best. True. Yeah, I definitely had demos. It's always daunting when you have that really expensive microphone in front of you, and then you have someone, in the room, recording room. Yeah, especially if you're not a vocalist. Yeah. If you're just kind of like trying to do it, and you did really well, but still it's like intimidating being there with another person, and you're like, oh, I don't. Especially if the other person is a vocalist, like sometimes I would, like with recording, I'd sometimes also have help, like because
if I'm in the vocal booth, I can't really.
You're not an
like,
octopus.
Exactly.
You
I don't
need to be
have
able-
like 10 meter long arms.
I'm too intimidated, and I do that. I'll play it and leave it
Oh, you
looping,
loop
and
it
then
and
run to the vocal
no.
booth.
I did that a couple of times, but like.
I believe, haven't we all done that? That's, yes,
Yeah.
that's very much happened. You're always like, but you're always limited to your headphones. Like the cord at one point just becomes like, just like snaps kind of, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like during the entire process, I still have these headphones that like one side always falls off. By now they're very legendary because every time I would record, I'd set them down, and then like 3 seconds later they'd fall down and like make awful noise on the microphone. But like but there I'd always have someone like, recording, maybe being like, oh, do you want to sing this differently? So that was definitely good, and also more pressure though, because then you want to sing properly. But maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what works, and everyone's super different, especially with that recording, like trying to be the recording environment and trying to be comfortable, trying to get like an energy flow going.
Yeah.
It's, definitely unique to the individual.
And you've also been doing some vocal lessons.
Oh, I have now,
Which is kind of, which is really awesome. Because I feel like nobody really talks about the importance of that, even for very trained professional singers. I mean, that's just something in the industry, if you're going to be singing, you just have to have to some extent.
Yes.
So I just think that's really cool that you've gotten into it even more.
That also annoys me a bit that like with so many great artists, people say like, oh, they're so talented. I wish I had that voice. And but the people like they sang a lot and like practiced a lot and put a lot of work in. It's not like they were born with that voice. It's like
it's a muscle for sure.
Yeah.
You're born with like a pretty good voice, but if you train it really well, I mean, it's like going to the gym. But
and it's literally a muscle as well, which is weird because you don't really expect it. And then when you're practicing and you kind of do exercises to strengthen the muscle, you start to feel it, and you're like, oh, this is genuinely a body part. Like you don't feel it when you're not focused on it. But.
Exactly. And if you train it well, it remembers, I mean, people do opera training for years and years, and then somehow they can just like,
I mean, they are the real singers. Meanwhile, I feel like, like when you're standing in front of mics screaming into it, it's like, is this singing or is it? But it's fun, so that's the.
Yeah, and it's difficult as well.
Yeah,
but it's a different skill set, and it's kind of like, I mean, same with, you could say the same for like pop musicians versus like classical violinists, where it's like, I feel like maybe you have to put more hours into doing the violin, but that's like very arguable. And
I mean, in the end, it's about having it, like liking the sound. So
True.
But vocal exercises were like really a big one. Like,
they're humiliating.
The Mimi Mamamoo.
Humiliating, aren't they?
I used to do like Cheryl Porter, vocal coach, and she'd hype one up. It's very great. Like she's got the hype, and then she's like, "Let's go, darling," and you're just in your
Let's
room.
go, darling.
Like,
alone in your room, like
and my neighbors are probably next to me, like, what is this?
Oh
What
god,
is this person doing? But like that helped. And,
for sure. And just a quick pivot, it's not very far from your real name. It's hard because I know you as Albin. So I was like, oh yeah, Albin's new album. But it's Albus as the artist name. Can you just give us a little, is it just a quick little change to the name, or is there a reason? Or
I mean, I like using the name Albus in general as well. I kind of answered both. So it's an artist name, but also a name is just, I don't know, like it's just something that your parents made out at some point. And maybe that's also part of the change that I went through, like defining yourself. So I like the name. There's not really deep deep meaning behind it. I mean, Albus Dumbledore is awesome. That's kind of the Albus. But I like the energy around it. Yeah.
Cool. Because it's nice. It's close enough to your real name without it. That's always the hard thing with stage names. That kind of identity. Change.
Did you have other ones you thought about?
I wouldn't
want to say them.
I probably also wouldn't want to say them, but I think I shoved them away because they're probably too terrible.
Yeah.
Like I ended on Albus pretty quickly, but I think I was kind of, I don't even know where that originated. Maybe someone called me that at some point as like a nickname, but I liked it, and then I just kept it.
Yeah. Nice.
This is a bit of a concept album. Is a bit of a concept album in that it's surrounding that idea. Was that intentional going into it, or did you kind of write the songs and then afterwards think like, oh, these fit into this idea?
Yeah, I don't think it was the intention, even though I like concept albums. but like loose concept albums. Like I still want people to be able to listen on shuffle in their own playlist and just have the song make sense on their own without having, because there's some way of 30 songs, you need them in like the correct order. But it wasn't the plan. Like I think just because I wrote these songs in such a short period of time, they kind of all share the same themes, which are, I mean, most of the songs are very simple about self-love and love to humans and love to music. Like it's really about like the commitment to music as well for me now, because that's the same for you. Like choosing to have music being such a big part of your life is a big decision. But I think that's what connects every one of us. That it's kind of something you can not logically explain, but it's a strong feeling. I think that's what connects them as songs.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Even
you can hear it
that
as
was,
well.
Like older, like
you can.
Even though the older song.
Yeah.
It also seems like you can really hear whatever you're listening to. I feel like it's I can hear the influences, but I can't quite put my finger on them.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a mix, like an eclectic mix of music to me that I feel like kind of goes through from into your music and then like listening.
Yeah.
But do you have any like specific names that inspired some of these songs, or any ones that you listen to that you feel like sonically align with the album?
I don't know if they align to it, but I know some that were with a plan.
Okay.
Like I was mostly actually shooting for Kaleo, which is like Icelandic alternative rock and like amazing singer and amazing band in general. But that's what I was going for, and that's kind of, I think in May I was also in a big Kaleo phase. Right. So it's kind of in the approach to songwriting, it was kind of that, but then different influences came in. Like, for example, like later on, I really got into Declan McKenna, and also love the production style of the album Zeros, for example, which is the one I listen to most. And I think on there it's Jay Joyce, who has like a super distorted, raw production style, and that was kind of what I was then going for in the mixing phase. So I think different artists influenced me in different phases of like from songwriting to demo. So I think Cage the Elephant as well, like very like raw alternative rock, and then in the end it just becomes something completely different. Like it doesn't sound anything like it to me, at least. But I've listened to the songs a lot now. Like
a lot, plenty.
And now you get to not listen to them for a while,
exactly,
and then listen to them again in a month or whatever.
That was nice for the last 2 weeks since I uploaded it to it being released on the 2nd, because I just haven't listened to one of my songs since then. And it's pretty great. So when I listen back to it, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always so weird to know that people are having the experience of listening for the first time versus you just tired of it, like ready to just get it out into the world. I know
which is also why it's sometimes good to work with other people, especially in mixing.
Very true.
Yep.
Because they hear something instantly and they're like, this should just not be there, but you've listened to it, so like you've just grown attached to it. And then
it's like editing a picture when you just really zoomed in, and then when you zoom out, you realize you've been doing something weird.
True. Yeah.
Especially when you're in your music software, like then sometimes I did this, like physically exporting it and having it on my desktop as an audio file, and then listening to it and taking notes. And like pretending I was, I don't know, in the subway listening to Spotify, and then it would really make a difference, because it's hard to think of it as a song when you see the entire deconstruction with all the tracks.
I do the same thing. Put it on my phone, and then on the S-Bahn, way to work. Listen to that.
You get like the perspective of an actual listener experience. Versus being on your computer looking at waves of sound.
Destroying your eyes for 10 hours. Like, does this snare sound good?
Exactly.
And because you can't think of, when you have a door in front of you, you can like very quickly change a lot of things. But if you just got it on, if you're just making notes, it's maybe like 3 or 4 things you can really focus on and be like, oh, we need to turn the vocals down or something like that. So you can like get the important things and all these extra things that no one's ever going to hear kind of fall aside, like they probably should.
Because the small stuff, I mean, you still have to fix it, but like usually the things that are wrong are always the big things that you miss because you're so zoomed in.
Are you trying to do that for your next project as well?
There's the next project, actually.
Do you have a idea behind it, or tracks already, or what's the...
Yeah, I'm kind of writing them, so I'm still trying to find what it fits into, and whether it's going to be, like, it's going to be more than a single properly. probably.
Yeah.
And but with this album, for example, I didn't even release like a single before this. But usually when people release an album, they do like 2 singles and like promote it. And
I like it I like no singles. It's not the right, like the correct business decision, but I love it when an artist just drops a full album and then it's like you listen to the whole thing.
Exactly. And if people like it, they can listen to it. But I didn't really go like deep in promotion, maybe at some other point. But the entire artist thing is really for people that like to listen to it and for me. But it's not really like I'm trying to make money off this. Yeah.
Everybody's really single obsessed, I feel like, and I hope that there will be kind of a slow return back to albums.
Yeah.
But I don't know, our attention spans are getting really, really short.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure it's an attention span thing, but more like how long can you keep relevance? And then if you release a single every month, you have like a 3-week period where at least you have like probably 1 week of people talking about you online, and then it will like get pushed aside a little bit. And if you can keep that up, then you will get more streams and people will re-listen to stuff. And like, I get where it's coming from, but yeah, I really enjoy the full album.
I suppose
drop.
that also is like societal attention span. Like
yeah, on a very
things don't
large
live very
scale.
long anymore. Yeah.
True. I mean, it allows you to be a little more dynamic in how you want to change. I mean, an album is more of a commitment into a theme or a sound or who you are in that moment. So, you know, I feel like it's, I don't know, but all more power and respect for an artist who actually takes the time to think about a whole album.
Yeah.
But you said you're writing the songs now. Are they as condensed as your 9-day period of writing? Do you think that'll ever happen again, or do you want it to happen again? Or?
It might. I don't know if I want it.
There's an element of kind of letting go.
Yeah,
especially in writing.
It's not even like I was like, I have to write 9 days and like 8 songs in 9. Well, it was 7 in 9 days, but like it just kind of happened. And now with the songs I'm writing now, I don't know if I'm going to release any of them. I like some of them a lot, but maybe I'll just release a single song and then never again, or maybe I'm going to release 10 more albums. We'll see. But yeah, like I'm also not committed to my current sound. Like it just kind of happened and I like it. But the next thing is probably going to have more aggression, maybe some metal vibes. But
development's always also great to see in an artist. Like I always really enjoy it when artists that I'm following will do something different, and especially if it's still good. And if it's not, you're like, oh, this is interesting, but And then for me, it feels like you can connect more to an artist if there's a development, and then you can see they're like a changing person and not releasing the same album kind of every couple of years. Yeah,
that's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And it's better to go from mellow to more hardcore. Like,
I think.
Don't you think?
I think in life, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe like, let's chill when we get a little bit older.
But in music, is that, do you think that's better to go from like more poppy, sweet, or, you know, more mellow, chill kind of rock to more distorted craziness?
To me, right now, yes. But I don't know what's gonna happen. Like it's also like right now, it's just because of the music I listen to now, being more aggressive, and we'll see. Maybe I'll do like a classical album at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. Is there a genre that you look at now where you're listening to a lot of it and you're like, this is a really cool genre, but I don't feel like I'm at a place, like I want to kind of keep it for later in my career when I have more skills? And
I mean, it is kind of it's not metal, but metal has like a lot of subgenres, and I don't even know which ones I like, but like some fusion between alternative rock and metal is kind of, but I'm not keeping it for later. I'm just doing it and seeing if it works. But also what I really like right now is more experimental, like maybe at some point not doing pure band music. That was the thought behind this album as well. Before that I had more very synth based with like electronic drums. But now I just wanted something that I could play live, like that has some kind of band playable soul in it. But
it makes sense as well why you chose to keep going with drums even though you weren't even present and you had like set everything up and you were trying to get it recorded.
Exactly,
because it would have been so easy to just switch to MIDI. But it's cool. It shows through where there's a cohesive sound, which is really nice.
That's good to hear.
It sounds really good. I'm really excited for people to listen to it. It'll be really cool. So I know you mentioned the wanting to play live or wanting this to transfer into a live setting. Do you have any plans for when that will be or venues you want to play? I mean, I know some listeners are not going to know specific Berlin venues, but do you want to do some school stuff or, school-oriented
Like the plan was to play live.
Just in general.
But the album, this one, to play it live in general, find like music bars, like there's the usual ones of like where open mics are.
Yeah.
I forgot all the names now.
That's okay.
I'm very bad with going to open mic nights as well. Like when I'm there, it's super fun, but I rarely go there, which is kind of sad. Which is also something I want to do more. But that was the plan, and then maybe play a couple shows, get a band that like plays well together.
Yeah.
But there was just too many other things, and I was kind of stressed. And
Yeah.
if I do this, I really want to do it properly, and it would be a challenge because I haven't really been like. In general, I'm not really the biggest live player. I don't have a lot of live playing experience. So if I do, I want to do it really properly. And bringing that across properly takes time.
Yeah.
So at some point, definitely, it's going to be.
Is the ideal end product with a band, or would you like to do like live looping so you have kind of less? I feel like it's less pressure on yourself, but maybe it's not. I don't know.
It would probably be more pressure on myself. But yeah, like with a band, and now also. Like over the last week, like I'd always imagined myself before that to sing in a mic and play the guitar parts, and kind of writing the album. That was also there. I was just thinking, okay, how is this going to work live? But now I'm thinking more and more to just let someone else play the guitar, only have the mic, and purely focus on like, actually being able to go off to the songs, because it's really annoying me like in front of your mic and not being able to move because So
I'm just hard. Like I can't do that. I can't play guitar and sing at the same time. It's too many like things for me to think about, and
exactly.
I think it's also just difficult.
I think it suits the sound best to have someone else play it, even if that means less control than me. But I think that's good anyways. Like to have some other people bring in their perspective. Yeah, like that's the plan with some songs of the album, to do like a live session with like 3 songs. That is then like filmed, maybe in like Studio One in BIM, which is the university. Yeah, but there I already have like some people that might be interested, and they can also like add their own sound to it, which is going to be fun. Yeah. But with this album, I'm not sure if people are going to hear it live.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'd be a shame if they don't. But
yeah,
I mean, obviously,
I would love to. I think some of the songs could.
If suddenly I have a lot of time and motivation, it's going to happen. But yeah.
I mean, but I think it's also really cool that you're taking the opportunity to become more of a vocalist, but then maybe you're also going to grow more in terms of playing live, because you say you don't have experience with that. Yeah, that's just a lot of growth in all of these different areas. I mean, this industry, we have to wear many hats these days. So many hats. Way too many. Hats, I'm done. I don't want to. Yeah.
Why are we podcasting? What are we doing? There's another hat.
Exactly. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I want to see myself more as a vocalist, but that means I have to become a great vocalist first, and I'm working on that someday.
Yeah. Do you want to stay here in Berlin? Is that the plan? Do you know yet?
I love Berlin, so but I think it's also the only part of Germany that I could like live in, like that is livable to me. I mean, I like my hometown, and it was a great experience, being away from there. But we'll see. Like, kind of also depends the path that I'm gonna go. Like, obviously, you just said we wear many hats, so I want to do film music as well, and put a lot of time into that. But just producing other people, which I'm kind of starting now properly, is really fun. So if I just find like a studio job here, I might stay for some time. Otherwise, maybe I'll get a van and go around Europe for a bit. And but I haven't really thought about other cities yet. Like,
do you know if there's film music stuff here? Because I know the Babelsberg studios are huge.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's a lot of scoring stuff attached to that. It seems like it would make sense with Berlin being such like a hub for music.
Yeah. Like that. I was taking a train from Hamburg once and just sat down and like opened Logic. Super annoyed because I had to like take off like plugins to like mix something again, because I'd somehow like destroyed the mix by listening too much. And I didn't even have headphones in, so I just sat down in front of it without hearing and just like editing. And then like a girl next to me was like, "Oh, what is this?"
That's the dream.
But then it
Living
turned
the
out
dream.
that she also uses Logic, and she does was studying like film scoring in Potsdam.
Right.
And that was a very weird experience. It was like some random train from Hamburg to Berlin, and a film score was sitting next to me. So I guess there's a lot of people doing that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of film in Berlin, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really also very visually aligned with music. Does that mean? I mean, film. Arranging for film is very visual. Like, do you feel like you were very visually inspired by certain things, like images
For the
album? Yeah. Certain songs, colors.
With
I'm
the
always curious.
songs, I wouldn't say so. Like they were very sound based.
Yeah.
But
To me, they sound very autumn colored, which is even though they were written in spring.
But that's kind of the emotion of autumn. Then I
Okay.
suppose that's very, like cozy and
Yeah.
like slightly bold, but not all out. Yeah.
Yeah.
that was but yeah, in film, like a good film is nothing without its like sound.
Yeah.
So that might be an interesting thing to like make an album for like an artist painting 8 pictures and you just make 8 songs to it. That might be a fun thing.
Yeah.
Maybe try that sometime. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wonder how people. We haven't had someone on here yet that is super visually, like, driven.
Well, hopefully, if everything works out, the guest we have on next week, they I don't know what their pronouns are, but they direct their own music videos,
Oh,
which are very cool. So we can talk about that. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have any interest in putting visuals to this album, or do you kind of want to finish the project and move on?
I was thinking of one music video, and it might happen, but still haven't thought a lot about it. I like the idea of it because you can add so much more depth to your song.
Yeah.
But I haven't even chosen the song. I have some favorites I want to do it for, but I really want to make it properly because I don't want to destroy it with some bland standard music video.
And wait till it's warm outside. If you're going to shoot outside, I mean,
yeah, Berlin winter is, I don't know if it's
Not fun.
the aesthetic that we need.
I am shooting a video tomorrow outside.
Yeah.
It's going to be horrible.
Oh,
that's
God.
No,
Yeah,
being outside is
not the move.
Well, that's nice that you actually want to put in some real thought into any visual accompaniment. I feel like nowadays it's just like, lyric video, we're cool, great.
Yeah,
You
No,
know?
that's why I don't want to do something shallow and kind of destroy the depth I was trying to create with the songs. So that's like with this, just like with the band, I have like kind of standards, like rather high standards, and maybe I won't be able to achieve them, and then it's just not going to happen. But yeah. Also depends on how much time I have. Like I feel like
it's very time intensive, and also music's also very time intensive. So you kind of have to pick and choose.
Yeah, especially since now I kind of started producing other people as well, and that's also a very new experience with new things to learn and like
a different process as well, completely from writing.
Like I enjoy it a lot because it's way less pressure, but like the same beauty, I suppose.
I found the opposite. Like if you're working with someone else, there's more pressure to get it right. And if I'm working on my own, I can be like, it's fine. I'll just mess up 30 times today, and tomorrow I'll fix it, and it's okay.
Yeah, I just think you're really in tune with how the other person feels. Like there's like a lot of energy spent being, how are they feeling about this? What do they think? You know, are they comfortable doing vocals or whatever?
Especially with vocals, like, because over the course of recording my own vocals, I kind of found the way of putting myself in the mood. Maybe I'd put like a song on to hype me up and like sing along to it before or something. Or at least blast music on my headphones coming to the studio. But now actually recording other people is also, maybe you haven't even met a lot before that, and they don't really know you, and like, then you really need to take a step back and first get like a nice atmosphere going and explain that you're just going to do the vocals until the artist is happy. Like,
How do you prepare for a session like that? Do you go in with a kind of a library of sounds you've curated, or just go in blank and kind of try to make the connection and see what happens? And
I'll usually just meet up at my place where I have like at least like I don't know, some guitars, a bass, a keyboard, a mic, so you can get a demo down and really maybe do that a couple of times, like meeting up for like 2 hours, and then really have something that the artist is happy with, and then the artist also already hears what it's going to be like. Because I kind of want to establish at least some base level of trust that I kind of will be able to make it sound not completely horrible. And then you also know what you need where for recording, and you can still change it. Yeah. So I'll usually do a demo first, and then if it's rock, probably drums and bass, and then vocal, and then everything else or something. Yeah.
In terms of promotion, how did that work for you? Because I saw on Instagram, and I saw an interesting post on Instagram about going to listen to your album, not going to listen.
I've been confused sometimes.
Yes.
Album.
Yes, it's like a tongue twister. I mean, that was kind of a fun friend thing. But do you have any like official promotional plans? Are you teaming up with any business students or business people? Are you just going to be playlisting yourself?
I had one business student at least tell me what I should do.
Okay.
And then I didn't do it. But for example, I even did a press kit and I like it, but I didn't end up sending it to any playlists or radios yet because it was mostly I kind of forgot about it. I uploaded the tracks and then I was like, oh, this is done. But on Instagram, I did I was like, I need a picture for this, so I just ended up making a thirst trap, and it was really fun. Because in the end, I don't have a bunch of Instagram followers. Everyone that follows me kind of knows me. Yeah. So that reached the right people in that way, and I mean, those I would love if those people listen to it, because they might like it. But I didn't really do any Instagram ads or any of the typical stuff you would do.
I thought it was hilarious and pretty creative too. Yeah. Just something I hadn't seen before. I was like, oh, okay.
Let me sell myself. I want to do this as well in this.
Oh.
And the cover is really cool as well. Did you take the cover or?
That was Adam, a friend of mine.
Oh, right.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Amazing. But we were just hanging out at Adam's place and then just snapped a picture of me because we realized that one corner, I think it's a clothes handle, is that what you call it? And I just I was okay, I want a picture in this corner because the corner looks cool, because it was the colours were great.
Yeah. Actually, it has the autumn colours.
It has the
maybe that's the connection. Maybe it's not the music.
Yeah, everything's kind of muted and it's an interesting...
Yeah. And
you look like you don't belong there, but you really do.
It looks
crazy...
a little bit edited.
Yeah, someone cut you out and then kind of put you on the... But really beautiful.
Yeah, I think it has this old school camera effect on it. Which was the way that Adam took the photo instantly with one of these apps.
Okay, right.
And just looked great, and I like the hands in front of the face as well.
Yeah. When I first looked up the meaning of your album, I was it was so spiritual. It read really spiritual to me. But are you a spiritual person?
I don't know.
Kind of a random.
I mean, I've searched a lot for meaning, but haven't really gotten anywhere.
Don't know if anyone gets anywhere.
Yeah,
just get more okay with not knowing.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow. Goodness gracious. Getting existential here on the Unsigned Berlin
but
podcast.
But definitely not it's also used a lot in religion, the word, and but actually one of my songs has a part that sounds kind of religious. I think it's a lyric, "Stay awake and pray" or something. And
that's really cool.
that was not even the idea behind it. It was more you'll hear the song and then you can make your own thoughts about it. But they actually marked the song as explicit, even though it didn't really have anything, but it had the word "pray" in it. So I was okay.
Weird.
That's kind of a funny
but it didn't really
approach.
come from that side. But yeah, searching for meaning definitely. And then. I mean, the universe is great and everything, but I don't think it really cares deeply about us. I don't think there's some entity, but that's everyone kind of finds their own thing to believe in. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, does searching for meaning have to be spiritual? Really? Maybe not. Maybe.
I think
depends on what you're
doing. Having not thought about that at all, I think yes.
This is now you're qualified to do a podcast.
We're going down into something. No, but I really liked, it was a nice conversation starter. Not really, maybe more of a, I don't know, it was it gave me something to think about. I was kind of that's It's interesting.
Yeah,
you know?
it is. I mean, it's an interesting word. That's why I
It's
kind
nice-
of went with it. Because I didn't know the word at first, and then I looked it up, and then I think then later on I realized, this word was cool, and it kind of is exactly what is happening right now, and what's happening in the songs as well. So I'm very happy with that title. Like, it's really fitting.
And
really
unique
pretty.
as well. I haven't
Yeah.
come across it before.
It's a beautiful
Yeah.
word.
I don't know
I
if
think
it-
it's
yeah.
really lovely. Like, it just rolls off the tongue really nicely. And
Yeah.
do other artists, have you searched up if anybody else has the same
I
name?
haven't actually.
I mean, because I have not heard of it.
I mean, there must be something.
Someone
'cause there's-
somewhere, yeah.
Oh gosh, these days. There's
Yeah.
always someone who took your name or like
Exactly,
your cool
yeah.
idea. It's already
I think
there.
even with Albus, there's like another artist that does German rap or something. Is it German rap? But like a very small artist, and I only found out about that afterwards. And
Well, there's a separate enough worlds that it isn't an issue.
like,
So yeah.
Very separate.
yeah,
For now,
exactly.
who knows what the next project's going to be?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
Like,
who knows? Yeah, but everybody really needs to listen to this.
Yeah.
It sounds really cool from what we've heard. We have the sneak peek,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we have the
fortunately.
secret access.
yeah, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's nice to hear.
Yeah.
That's maybe a good place to stop. We've been going for a while. And apart from obviously the album coming out tonight, the
The second.
the second, yeah. Is there anything else you want to promote or anything like that? Or
No.
doesn't need to
I
be?
could spread the message of the album, which is love yourself and other people, and don't be a hateful person. But
Nice.
that sounds very cheesy, but it's what I mean. Yeah.
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 It's a wonderful way to close it. Thanks, you
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you very much for
Well,
coming.
thank you for having me. It's
Yeah.
been
Oh
very
my
nice.
gosh. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure.
The tea was great as well.
Oh,
You're welcome.
are you asleep now?
Like, what time is it?
Late 20 to 12.
So